could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me, yeah he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me, that's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. You poppin' bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we done got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the fence, they never coming home. Can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster. Ruger rap. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out.
How's everybody doing tonight? Oh man, I got a great show for y'all, man. But I want to start just thanking everybody, man. I had almost 2,000 people came out Friday. I thank each and every one of y'all. I'm eternally grateful for y'all support. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe when you come in. I greatly appreciate it. It's free for life. And yeah, man, we're going to get into it, man. And I kind of want to finish something that I was speaking about. I was speaking about in my last live Friday. You know, when you're doing these live streams, you're on the spot. So it may be things that you kind of slip out your mind. You got your notes and all that, but sometimes stuff just slip out your mind because you're trying to get everything in a, you know, not really in the time, because I really don't have a time limit. But what I do is that's why I come at a later time. Most of the time I want to start doing it around 2 or 3, but I come after 5 because I know people probably, you know, just getting off. They might have YouTube on while they're in the shower, or they ride home and they might be listening. So that was my thought process at first, but I might go to a 2 to 3 slot, or 2 or 3:30 slot, because again, there's no time limit. We just come on here and we run it. You feel me? But I got a few subjects I want to touch on. Like I said, I wanted to kind of piggyback off what I was saying in Friday Live, and I was speaking about the male feminists and why black people, for the most part, most black people hate Trump. And they just automatically categorize him as being racist. What I learned in my community, which is very unfortunate, and we got to do better. We got to do better by the man getting back in his proper role, right? But because we have so many male feminists, and of course, majority of our women are feminists. And feminist just another word for Jezebel spirit. And the reason why the men are like that, because a lot of them are raised by their father. I mean, a lot of them are raised without their father. They raised by mama, her friend, grandma, and they just get all of this feminine gasoline poured into their system, and they become male feminists. In other words, they are the defenders of the feminists. And what I mean by the defender of the feminists, men are supposed to protect women, but I'm talking about that spirit, that Jezebel spirit of the man under the woman. And, you know, it's like silly, like you'll see silly things like, she's my better half. As a man, you're automatically by default supposed to be the better half because God Christ you. So you right under Christ. So you're supposed to be the better half. But a lot of dudes, they went with this simp programming, which is, and a simp, again, like I tell people, a simp is not a guy who spend money on his lady, or a guy who, a person who spend money is either, if this is my girl, I'm supposed to spend money on her. Or if I'm a trick and I'm paying for a service. That's not simping. Simping is beta activities. Simping is a male. I'm not gonna say a man. He's a male with a female inside him because and it's not his fault in most cases. He was raised by a woman, or in some situations I've seen, I'm starting to see even more where it's a man in the house. It's a two-parent household, but the man that's in the two-parent household position as the father, he was raised by his mama. So he a beta male. So he feel like it's normal for a woman to lord over him. And I've seen this, I was watching it was so hurting watching Gucci Man sit there in a Breakfast Club and shout out to Keisha Kyle. She's a woman that, I like the way she's talking about how she pray a lot and things like that. I do respect that. But you're never supposed to be the head. You're not supposed to ever let your woman be the head. And just watching him on the Breakfast Club and she's sitting there like his handler. I seen another one with Michael Todd and his wife, and she's constantly interrupting him. Even with the Carmelo Anthony situation, not the basketball player, but the young man who unalived the white boy in Dallas, when they had the press conference, the woman is speaking, and women, and this is why I'm saying that women are not equipped to deal with tough situations like that. We know all over America they are dealing with it by default because the dude is not around. But when you're dealing with a situation with her children, because the woman's children is like, when you're dealing with anything concerning her children, she's not really, he should have never let her speak. He should have been speaking. But what he's doing is he's standing behind his wife crying. Well, he's basically like tears dropping. He's not sobbing. She's talking and sobbing, and he's just behind her. A real man would have been in front of his wife. We'd have been sitting down. I'd have held my wife's hand, and I would have spoke for the family. That's how they're supposed to go. But we are in an era where the feminine principle and the Jezebel spirit is induced in America so heavy right now. And again, everybody can deal with what they want to deal with in their communities, and all of the communities are being affected by this. But the thing is, with all other communities besides the Black community, they are able to deal with this, and basically, it's more masculinity than the feminine, so it overrides. But our community, the only community who is being led by the feminine principle, right? The woman king. And again, this is our fault as Black men. And so, like I say, I was speaking about Donald Trump and how I was just trying to clear it up with a Black feminist is. I mean, what a male feminist is, and why Donald Trump is hated. Because like I say, majority of our Black women are filled with that feminine spirit, that Jezebel spirit. And this is the so funny thing. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. Now, some of them have jumped into that role and beaten their chest, but it's not their fault, number one. And number two, that's not what they really want. This is why a majority of our Black women have some type of mental health issue. They are going to see therapists multiple times a month. They're self-medicating on marijuana and wine and antidepressant. They're doing all these other things because you see them and they're frustrated, they're overwhelmed, raising these children on their own. So clearly it's not working for them. The feminine spirit, the Jezebel spirit is not working. But again, it has been forced upon them because we have left our families. And that's why I got and that's just how I say that's just how powerful the Black man is. He's so powerful, right? He's so powerful that him removing himself from a home is catastrophic to everybody. Right? That's how powerful the Black man is. He affects the child, the girl, and the boy. Because now the girl grow up seeing her mama take care of everything, and if her mama struggling, first thing, or if her mama not struggling, her mama bossed up. In her mind is, man, mama handle business. Mama handle business. So I gotta make sure I get in a position, get all this education, do all this, and not focus on the man, not focus on nothing, but focus on this, so I can empower myself and not never have to struggle like mama or be bossed up like mama. And then we know this again. I asked for mention all of the reasons that affect the little boy. He got feminine energy in him. He a beta male, and feminine energy in a young man can be very dangerous. You talking about a spirit that's impulsive and overly emotional. This is why this is why they kill each other like they kill each other in the neighborhood, because two young boys don't have their father. They don't know, and they all in the same area, Section 8 areas, and sometimes even if it's not a Section 8 area, they have that same energy. Because, like I say, the little dude Carmelo Anthony was in a two-parent household, nice area, but he still had that energy of a woman that's overly impulsive. I mean, overly emotional and overly impulsive. And when you overly impulsive and overly emotional as a young man, that don't mix. Because you will have situations like what happened with him and with situations we see happening every day in a city near you. Men are supposed to be diplomatically, they're supposed to handle situations diplomatically in any and every situation. They're supposed to jump to the front, even if it's two women, and say, look, how can this be dealt with on a more diplomatic way? We don't have to go to war about everything. These dudes in the street killing each other for nothing, bro. It ain't even about nothing. A Facebook post or this, or they call me a name, or a woman, and they just get overly more. And the feminine energy is, and the feminine, and so what I'm saying is, that feminine spirit enters the home when the father is not there. And when I say the father, I'm talking about a real masculine, high value man. And I'm gonna get off into what that means later on. But again, I just want to finish this off, just finishing off, and why I was speaking about that in the last episode, in Friday's episode of Trump. We know y'all know we do live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? But I was speaking about Trump and why so many black people hate Trump, and it's why I just said, because most black, I just laid all that out. Most black people, either they have they feminists, or they have the male feminine spirit if they're male. Like, Barack Obama, he came and he said, I'm the most feminist president, not feminine, feminist. In other words, he's the most pro-woman president, the most woman for equal rights, which is again, I'm gonna say this 1,000 times. The feminine spirit is not about equal rights. The feminine spirit is about the woman being over the man, because it's infused with the Jezebel spirit. The devil come real tricky, and he'll name stuff and try to put stuff in a certain way, but that's not what it's about. And I always tell women, man, first of all, not only was the feminine, just on the without the Jezebel spiritual aspect of it, just on the ground level, women shouldn't want to be equal to men. Women have a power that we don't have, and they're very important in that. And that's also why I got a title in this title, Why Gender Roles Work, and I'm gonna go deeper into that later on. But I just wanted to package this last episode up and just say, because our communities are like that, majority of feminists, they don't really know how to verbalize. Everything is so emotional and how they feel. Because one of the things of a feminine spirit is their feelings are their truth, and we don't know how to verbalize stuff in our community. So, for case in point, we'll be working, right. Say we go to work, right, and we got a Mercedes Benz. We got a coworker who drive a Toyota, right. Um, we don't know if this person having a bad day. We don't know if this person in an abusive relationship. We don't know if this person got a child. We don't know what's going on in this person's life. But any type of negativity that they show toward us, if it's another black person or if it's anybody outside a white person, we gonna automatically swear to God they hating on us. Like, we're not gonna be able to because again, we don't have men in our community to teach wisdom. Women, I'm not saying this is a poor deal exception to the rule, but the woman is not a beacon of wisdom. That's not her thing. It's funny that the Bible calls wisdom or her, but wisdom is not a woman's strong point. That's a man, a real masculine, not toxic. So when I say masculinity, I know people try. I ain't talking about no toxic masculinity, no dude walking around who ain't. I'm talking about a man of God masculinity. Just so we clear on that, right? And because of that, we don't know how to verbalize our feelings. We don't have no wisdom in the home, so we just go off our emotions. They hating on them. They hating on them. We don't sit down and say, well, maybe this person going through something. Maybe this person, having a whatever. We automatically jump to hate. They hating on us. And again, this is why I speak about prayer and how important prayer is when you wake up in the morning, telling God thank you for waking you up and tell him thank you for some things you want to thank him for, ask him some things you need, and make sure you always ask God to be with you everywhere and in everything you do, because what that does is God walks with you. If you ask him, sometimes he just walk with, but I'm saying he with us if we believe in him, but I'm just saying, you make sure you pray that prayer Psalm 91 over before you leave the house for sure, your family, everything, especially in the time we living in. But when you speak about at God to be with you, certain situations, he'll begin to tell you, no, that's not what it is. Now, of course, sometimes, especially in our beginning of our walk with Christ, we still gonna have those outrage or whatever, but he's gonna help us begin. Well, maybe that person is going through this. God will just speak to your spirit like that. She's having a bad day. Let her make it. Show kindness. Overcome hate with love. If there is hating on you. And so with Donald Trump, because most of us have that male feminine spirit of us as man, and most of our women are feminine spirit, has the feminine spirit inside of them. By Donald Trump being masculine, we automatically take he racist because it's a spiritual thing. That's why I tell people everything is spiritual. So he walks in the spirit of masculine, right? So because he walks in that spirit of masculine, unapologetically male, that automatically upsets anybody who have the feminine, aka / Jezebel spirit operating in them, which is most all black people. And because we're not taught to verbalize things, we automatically, like I was speaking about the other just example at the workplace. Any type of white person, anytime a white person for whatever reason, because most of them have that masculinity coming off of them, just because the way their household is ran. These people will keep the household together until the kids go to college. They understand how important the wife and the husband can hate each other, don't even sleep in the same room, but they'll keep the house together, right? Because they understand how important it is for the male to be there. Now, our community, if our black women ain't happy, they want a divorce. They're not thinking about the children. It's all about their happiness. And I'm not bashing them. I'm just speaking on the situation because I understand some of us brothers is be bulls jiving, cheating on. So I don't want to get off in that in this particular episode. And so, like I say, because Trump exudes that masculine energy, and even as a man, if you're a black man, you know I'm not lying. You know that because there's only a few of us left, and some of us, like I said, we just didn't have father. When I say us, not me, I had one. But if you didn't have a father, you may say, well, how do I walk into my masculinity? That's why you got to seek God. You got to ask God to come in your life. Like I said, it's not hard like people try to make it out to be. You wake up, you thank God, you thank him first before anything. And you begin to ask him, God, give me the Bible say. If ask him for wisdom, he'll give it to you. One of the main things of a masculine man of God is wisdom. You got to have wisdom because wisdom helps you process things the way so it gives you process and problem solving spirit automatically comes to you. That's what wisdom is. Processing things, understanding them, and being a solution-based person, solution-oriented person. Because you got the wisdom. Now, sometimes you may have the wisdom and still screw up because you wanted to, though. But it's not going to be because you just didn't know or you just didn't have the information and you just was out here wild, right? You need information. You need wisdom to lead a family. I always tell people you shouldn't be, and it's just my opinion, you shouldn't be really making children as a man until you're 30, because you don't have you probably not that deep in your career until you about 30. You don't really have no life lessons. You have some, like, because your 20s is just basically like your teen years, your adult teen years. You're not ready to be a parent. In most cases, you don't have that much wisdom or knowledge to teach your children. Are there exceptions to that rule? Absolutely. You got some young men of God, and they just got, but and so because Donald Trump exudes that energy, a lot of our people automatically go to racism, but it's not. It's just that they have that feminine spirit in them. Um, they can't verbalize it, but they just know his spirit is in opposition to that. So because he's white, he automatically racist. But I laid out several situations in my last live Friday on how he's not racist. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that, man. So I wanted to get in a few things today. Um, and what's so dangerous about that feminine spirit, man, it's just a bad trickle down effect. It just ruins everything. It ruins the family. It ruins everything. It messes up gender roles, and but what I want to talk about today was the main topic I want to start with. Um, it's so funny, man. It is so funny that we have a sprinkle of financial literacy podcasts, or we have a sprinkle of podcasts about real estate. Let's see what else. We have a few podcasts about the family unit. Um, but we got all of these black podcasts talking about relationships, right? And it's just getting oversaturated. It's making things worse. I always talk about Kevin Samuels and some of the things that he taught. And I may be reacting to some of his videos in the future. But the thing about Kevin Samuels, and that's what I'll say about him. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul. But one of the issues with Kevin Samuels that I had with Kevin Samuels is he did more harm than he did good, but he did do a lot of good. And in this, nobody perfect. So what you do, what I do, I take the meat, throw away the bones. Um, his definition of a high value man is kind of way different than my definition. And I'll be getting to get into that. But we got all of these podcasts with women on there, and they talking about whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de woo, and men on there, and they talking about whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de woo. And us people, us regular people, are sitting there watching this, right? And we're basing our lifestyle on what they're saying, and they're not being genuine. They're saying things for clicks. They're saying things that they're not standing on business about. It's just a bunch of nonsense, right? And so we get on there, as our women get on there, and they just say some of the most outlandish things about men and this, that, and the third, and our men doing it too. And Cam Newton recently was on a podcast, and I'm about to play it in a minute. And he said some controversial things, right? And one of the controversial things he said, well, no, I'm gonna let it play. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it play, and then I'll react to it afterwards because, um, you know, let's play it.
Do you feel like women's value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men?
I just think that the reality of that answer is women's value get lower the more children that they have.
Break that down.
Because, and I was having this conversation, with one of the mothers of my children, and she's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever you had. And there's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids. I want you. Well, that ain't how it works. But that's not to say that she can't find nobody.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she has somebody.
Right. But do you feel like it's as the best that she could possibly do if she didn't have children.
Are you talking to a dude that was once in her life? I don't feel like she's gonna get better than me. That's just my confidence.
I don't even think it's confidence. I have said, and I might get eaten alive, I don't think most women do better than the father of their children. Do you feel like women's value?
Now he asked this woman asked him, do he feel like, shout out Lucas, man. Shout out Lucas, my man. God bless you, brother. But and so it is, she asked him a controversial question. I don't, he shouldn't, I mean, he got all these baby mamas, but she asked him a controversial question. Do you feel like a woman value drop? Now it's so funny that everybody jumped on that, but they didn't jump on and they didn't listen to the whole thing, apparently. Again, that overly emotional in our community, right? Maybe they didn't listen to the whole thing. Like clearly he said, if a man want to date you, he gotta accept all of that. She's still fine. I accepted all of that, and he was I wouldn't say all the way high value, but he was a provider. He was a sole provider, but he don't have a lot of wisdom. That's one of the things I knock. That's one of my knocks on Cam, especially being in a two-parent household, Christian household, where his father was a pastor. But again, looking at Mike Todd, a lot of these pastors, some of them, most of them, well, not most of them, but a lot of them, I'll just say, are male feminists. But anyway, which is oxymoron of being a man of God. It just can't happen. And so the people who goes off about that, number one, they must have didn't hear everything he said, because clearly he said, if the man don't want you and your kid, he's not the one for you. But let's address the situation of a woman value dropping when she have children. Like, listen, we have to be honest. And again, I want to be clear on this. I have to say this, and I might need to start saying this as a disclaimer when I'm speaking about anything dealing with relationships. This is not a gender war channel. This is not a gender war channel. This is a pro-truth channel, a pro-Christ channel, a solutions-based, solutions-oriented channel. And anything that's pro-truth, it may sometimes step on your toes. But the thing with that is, if your toes is not out, they won't get stepped on. You got steel-toe boots on, only way your toes won't get stepped on is if they're out. If you got steel-toe boots on, your toes can't get stepped on. Do with that what you may. So it's gonna be time where people's toes gonna get stepped on, men and women, but this is not a gender war channel. It's not what this is about. So I don't want nobody to say, oh, he's one of the. No, I'm not one of nothing. You ain't seen nobody like me. Because what I notice is a lot of people talking. A lot of black people talking about the black community. A lot of black people talking about relationships. A lot of black, but they're not coming with a solution. That's what this channel gonna shine on. Solution. Right? And so, but we have to be honest. And then you hear a lot of women in the comment section saying, well, look who's talking. He got all these baby moms. But listen, a man having multiple children and a woman having multiple children is two completely different things. That's number one. Number two, and the reason why that is, I'm gonna just start with number one, is because most of the time the men don't have the custody. The woman has the custody. Right? So if I'm dealing with you, it depends, because I've been in these situations. And I tell people all the time, I'm at a place in my life where only way I was getting because at this point I date with a purpose. I'm not dating out here just to have sex. If you out here dating just to have sex, I mean, I don't support that. I'm a man of God, but I'm saying for me, I'm dating with a purpose. I'm dating for marriage. So for me to go pick a woman with children, I just wouldn't do that at this point in my life, because I done did that. And there's several reasons why I wouldn't do that. One of the reasons why I really wouldn't do it is some of the time, like I had a woman I messed with for years. You have a woman that you'll mess with, or a particular person you mess with, and you might actually start liking these children. Like you really start loving them like they're your own. And the bad thing about it is they're not your own. So if something happened and everything get broke off, guess what? Those children are took from you, and sometimes that can affect you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just other reasons, just a lot of other reasons, but I just won't do that by choice. Now, because I'm a man of God, and because I live my life on Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto you. That means that I'm not picking my wife. The serious things in my life, I let God pick. So God gonna send me my wife, and when He send me my wife, and she just so happened to have children, and God tell me, hey, that's your assignment. They don't have a father. I want you to take those children under your tutelage. I'll do that gladly. But for me just picking, I just won't do it because to me, it's just a lie. Especially if this person has children who need her still. And she got grown children, or at least teenage children, a little bit different. But you got to understand when you're dealing with a woman with kids, that's not just, oh, I'm accepting. I want her so bad, so now I'm accepting. We got to understand what kind of children these children are. Let's say you and me. I'm just using for example because a lot of things we have to do, we do and we don't do without really like weighing the option, counting the cost. Let's say, for instance, you are a Christian man, right? You get with a woman. She got children. She got two or three children, right? Now, one of her children is a homosexual. Now you and her have a child. Your child has to be in the house with a homosexual. I don't want my child around. I mean, when I say that, I don't have nothing against homosexuals. I got homosexual friends. I got trans friends. But the thing is, and I listen, I don't, and this ain't me, you feel me? Because, and my homosexual friend, my trans friends, listen, they are friends I've knew for years. Some of them I ain't met when I was doing the time. And listen, because before I went to prison, I hated gay people. But when I went to prison and I got to know them, just to, not to digress too far, not to diverge too far in another situation, I started to get to know them and know that they people. And I just did, before prison, I was a kid anyway. I was 17. And so I just looked at them like, why would you choose this over this? And then you get to understand trauma that some of these people went through and all kinds of stuff that they went through and they stored. And I hate to say it, but some of these homosexuals are able to hold a more intellectual conversation with you than a straight man. All these dudes talk about is hoes and just like, I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying some of our black men, we got to do better. So I don't have nothing against black people, but do I want my children? Do I support what the Barack Obama said that my child need a gay friend? Absolutely not. If I can help it, I don't want him being influenced or being around nothing like that. I understand if he's going to the public school system, he may have that at school, but I want him to be. I'm gonna teach my son. Listen, you love and you treat everybody equally, right? And if I just and if I was to have a gay son, I would love him like Now I'm not going to no gay marriages. You're not having no gay friends over, but if I got a gay child, I'm gonna love my gay child like I love my straight child. But all I'm saying is I don't want my child inside the house with a gay child that's not kin to him. Because things can happen. Not saying things would or will happen, but things can happen. And I know me, at the end of the day, I'd be like, damn, bro. I probably want to, do that child something if he mess with my child. They got some crazy situations going on, man. And so you got to add counter cost. Is this woman, it's so many things when you pick who is the father of these children? What kind of nut is he? He may not be a nut, but what kind of man is he? Are you okay with a man knowing your every whereabout now? Because everywhere y'all go, if even y'all move to another city, this man has to be notified because that's his children. Like, are you willing to put up with all that for this woman? Because contrary to popular belief, it's plenty of women. I'm 38. It's plenty of women out here of all age groups who don't have children. And so, you know, so do a woman value drop when she have multiple children? Absolutely. Especially when you're talking about getting a man that y'all all want, which is a man who is a provider. And I've seen several situations where women with children got me with provider. I'm not telling you that it's not going to happen for you. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you do hurt you, and you hurt more than just your love life. Let's not talk about the life that Like I know a lot of women right now who still CNAs. They've been in the nursing field for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. They supposed to be moved up to LPN, registered nurse, but they not able to. Why? Because they have all of these children, no 24-hour dad, their mom living their life, and they don't have nobody to say, look, I got your kid while you go back and further your education. They stuck being a CNA. And in other fields as well. That they can't go back and get more education to get more money to move up because they had these human anchors. And children are a blessing. Let me make sure I say that. But they can be an anchor at some points in life. And that's, I spoke about that in not Friday video, but I think it was last Wednesday live. I made, or it was last Monday live, one out of two. And I spoke about parenting and, counting the costs and, don't let nobody force you to have children. Make sure children is something that you want, you plan for, and then you move forward. But don't let nobody rush on you. I understand women going to high risk pregnancy, I believe after 36, 38. But men can have children as long as they. But I mean, like, don't let nobody rush your process, bro. Don't let nobody rush your process, in the words of Jay-Z. But the thing about it, so when you're dealing with that and you got men who provide us, I mean, especially if it's a man with no children, a man can look at you and say, well, man, you got all these children? Because I know certain men, I know men right now who will be like, man, I want to rock with her, but man, she got all them children. I had a dude was saying the other day, he said when he see female, he always go look at their Facebook. And that's something I do too, not just for the old reason, but I don't ask women for their phone number. I ask women for their social media because I need to see how you think. And social media is gonna always tell people how other people think. Are you messy? Are you an attention whore? What kind of woman are you? Do I want to make you my woman? What I want you to be the mother of my children. So I always go look at social media because if your social media not up to par from what I'm looking for in a woman, I don't want you. But I was talking to a dude the other day, and it's funny. He was like, man, I asked for a social media because if she got any kids in her bio, he said that's a wrap. I might hit, but I ain't. That's still dangerous. I tell dude like, man, you talking about you might hit. It been some situations, and I'm guilty. Well, I say, man, I'm just going hit. I say I don't live that life no more, but I'm saying that fact. Well, I'm just going hit. I ain't really trying to get involved. And man, that one time, and now I'm a step. You gotta be careful with that, man. But back to serious situation. Back to the conversation. I mean, it do hurt you as a woman having multiple children. This is why we gotta make sure we plan our marriage. I understand people young stuff happen, but just having multiple children and you still feel like you equal to a woman who don't have children, that's delusional. I mean, that's because you got too many women out here. Believe it or not, if you're in a big city, I'm from a small town. If you're from a big city, it's plenty of women who don't have children. Beautiful women. So I mean, you gotta man it. You can't mismanage your vagina and get mad when somebody say something like that because, or I ain't even gonna say mismanage. You had baby for the wrong guy. What's kind of like mismanaging because most situations, most women know who their baby father is. Yes, some baby fathers change. But most of these women, they knew who their baby father was. They thought he was going to change. And they can try to blame it on being young and all that there. But again, you can blame it on whatever you want. You're stuck with that child. And that child is going to affect your life in negative and positive ways. And if a guy say, hey, man, look, I'm straight on you because you got children. Or if a guy get on a podcast such as Cam Newton and say that, you can't really get mad because, again, and then trying to say, well, he got all these kids. It's different from a man perspective. Men don't got the custody of their children. They free. I've seen so many of these idiots. They leave they biological and go be a stepdad. Yeah, which is I don't understand, but everybody do stuff they way. Um, but what I also speak about is femininity. Let's go back to that. See, when you feminine, and this is what I told. I want to play some more videos. When you feminine, because our women have been forced to the leadership role in our communities, and they thriving in that position when it comes to money, not thriving when it comes to building nothing for the black community, not thriving when it comes to from what the black community look. Because as you know, when you look at the black community, you gotta get it's the black man's fault, but because the black woman is the head of the black community, that's why you see the issue that you see. Because when you're talking about politicians, judges, anything that's real serious like that, women are not put in a position to lead. They're too emotional. They're too emotional. There shouldn't be no women judges. It shouldn't be nothing where women can they run a business or certain things. Yeah. When you're talking about something that's like huge and massive that has real like a society and all this stuff like that, women are not. And because they have been put at the head by default, and they over it, they got more degrees than a thermometer. They got a lot of them that's doing their own business and stuff like that. They have put themselves in a position to the point where it's like, now I'm beating my chest. Now I'm IND, I'm the independent, all this here. What they're not understanding is that's a turnoff for the men that they really want. And this is why the relationship tangent and nonsense on these podcasts it's falling on deaf ears and not being used properly, and sometimes being used improperly. The information that they're giving and not giving a solution. The solution to that is, again, men got to get back into their masculinity. Men got to get back into their masculinity. And the ones who are masculine, you can't be bending and folding. And the women, y'all have to get into y'all femininity. If you single, you gotta make money. You gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do to feed yourself and to feed your family. But as a woman, your main goal is to keep yourself in your most feminine, not feminist. These are two different things. In your most feminine as possible. Because see, when you're feminine, all of that stuff that they talking about, a woman don't have children, it drops her value, all that goes out the window. I made a video a couple weeks ago live. I spoke about Kim Kardashian and why she can continually get men, not to just hit her behind closed doors and keep it moving. You got buku men that have came out publicly on side of Kim Kardashian without being shamed. You know why? Because her femininity and her sex appeal is so over the top that when men get around her, it's like a net. And that's what femininity does. That's what femininity does. And femininity in black women is a lost art. Some of them don't even know how to do it. But again, if they get under the right tutelage of a masculine man, or if they're single, preparing for their husband, God can give them the tools. God can make them feminine because, again, God is a man of order. And when you go to him, ask him for wisdom and ask him to change you and ask him to be with you every day, all day, it's things he'll speak to you to do instead of that. What you used to do, he'll tell you to do it this way. And he's going to tell you to do it in the way that you're supposed to be operating, which is, if you're a woman, that's your femininity. That's your number one thing. And getting your hair done, your nails done, your toes done, your wax and all of that, keeping your face beautiful and all that, that's all fine and dandy, but that's not really feminine properties. Feminine, that's kind of like upkeep of a woman. That's just normal upkeep of a woman. Femininity is again, a spiritual thing. But what happens is, once this woman has been single and doing everything on her own for so long, it hardens her. It hardens her. But see, for a masculine man, that ain't no big deal. See, a masculine man will break that outer hard shell. I call them kiwis. They sweet, but they got a rough around the edges because life have done them that. And again, that's how powerful the black man is. He's so powerful that his absence from the home affects the young girl, by turning her into a masculine by default woman and saying, Daddy wasn't here for me. So for one, I don't know how to get treated like a princess. So that's a whole nother story for another day. But mama was a boss, I'm a boss. So mama struggled, so I gotta make sure I'm bossed up and don't struggle. And not being in this child and not a father not being in his son life is even worse. But I'm saying that's how powerful the black man is. That's how much power the black man can have if he just stay with his family. If we go back to our families, stay with our families, build families after we got married and be masculine, men of God, this is how we can change everything. This is the white man can't do it. It's not the white man fault, a white man problem or nothing. It's all in the ball is in our court. This is the power that we have. Our presence operating in our natural masculinity can fix the whole black community. That's how powerful we is. But let me go back to what I was saying. And so a woman, your thing is to be feminine. Because see, when you feminine, overly feminine, when you and if you don't, and it's sad, like I want to play a video because it's crazy because femininity in our community had become a lost art, right? And you go on a date with a woman. I'm gonna just say this here. You go on a date with a woman, and again, the minute y'all want the high value man. What is a high value man, in my opinion? Which I think is a fact, but a high quality man. Number one, he's a man of God. He ain't a man. I ain't talking about the man of church. He's a man of he a man of God, meaning he followed God and God's laws of the Bible to the best of his ability. That's number one. Now, when he's a man of God, a real true man of God that has a relationship with God, that's a trickle down effect. That's gonna affect his masculinity. That's gonna affect his leadership, his wisdom. So, number one, a man of God, right? Number two, he has wisdom. Number three, he has understanding. And of course, money got to be in there. And he also have a support system of brothers that he can call and join him in prayer, join him in the community fed. He might need information on how to get in the stock market. He got a partner that's a stock pro, real estate partner. He got a team of men at his beck and call, and they all bring something different to the table. They're all men of God. That's a masculine man. But it starts off with a man of God. And this is the man that you want. Even if you don't know what you want, I'm telling you, this is the man that you want. This is the man you want to lead you. This is the man you want to run your home. This is the man you want your son to look up to. This is the man you want your daughter to look to be a man for her so she can know what the template for a good man should be. And these type of men look for femininity. How do you talk? How do you articulate yourself? Decorum, etiquette. And some of these females, man, they got a perverted mouth and they think that's cute. Coming to the date smelling like marijuana. A woman is never supposed to smell like marijuana. You shouldn't even be smoking. But if you hear smoking, a woman should never smell like cigarettes or marijuana. So for your femininity, you need to smell good. You need to have decorum. You need to have etiquette. You need to have sex appeal. When a man get around you, he ought to be just into a cup form, ready for you to pull yourself in here. I'm not talking about nothing sexy. I'm saying you supposed to be that exuding. And I want to play y'all a video of real fast to give y'all an example what femininity is not. And also, if you dealing with a man like I just said, he want to provide. And I always tell him, if you can't take care of at least 80% of the relationship, I say 100, but you can't take at least 80% of the relationship financially, you shouldn't be dating to kind of clear up the money situation. But the thing about it is, You go on a date with these women today, and they telling you all kind of stuff, and they sound like a dude. I got this many degrees, and I'm doing this, and the dude looking at her saying to himself, a real masculine man going, a male feminist, which we have too much of, which we have to alleviate. They may say, oh, but a real masculine man looking at them saying to himself, okay, I might have sex. I know some women like that. I know they beautiful. All the things I just said, they smell. You get around, they smell good, they beautiful, everything. But they're a woman trapped in a man body. I mean, a man trapped in a woman body. And sometimes it's not even really their fault. Man, you gotta be stopped, bro. Excuse me for that. And sometimes it's not even their fault because they trying to just be on some stuff like, man, I want to let this dude know that I ain't no gold digger. So I don't need it for his money. But we cool with you needing us for our money. That's our job. We just want you to be feminine with this whole what you bring to the table. All that is nonsense. If you're a feminine woman, only thing you need to bring to the table is your femininity, because that's what we need as a man. We are the ones supposed to be hard, had a harder exterior, and provide and do all that. That's why I tell women all the time, man, a man will pick a female working at McDonald's over a lawyer to make his wife. Now, he may have sex with the lawyer, but when it comes to making somebody his wife, he probably gonna pick the female who lower value because he know that she'll be more ready to get in a role to play as a woman versus this lawyer. She's gonna be, she gonna have not to mean. I don't know why I brought a lawyer in there because she's gonna be overly, just being a lawyer. She's gonna have her masculinity out because she don't need a man and all that stuff. That is a turnoff. That is not feminine. And I want to play this video real quick. Let me see. I ran into this video and it was so funny because this woman, shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. I like her energy and I like her mindset and what she's talking about. But and I like her, I like the initiative, just the way she feels. But this is not feminine. This is not femininity in a man. And I'm talking about a man of God, a high quality man that has masculinity, wisdom, and all of the tools and all of the attributes that a high quality man have. The man that you want to lead you, the man that you want to lead your children. This is not it. Let me play this video. And like I say, I feel like she's coming from the right place. It's just no, she's a huge turnoff. Beautiful woman too, by the way, with some good advice. But let's play it. Hold on.
In a store just now, and I see this girl was I was in a store just now, and I seen 3 beautiful girls. When I tell you these girls was so pretty, mixed up the girls, they look very, very pretty. But I heard them talking, and I heard them saying, just saying little stuff that we used to be saying back in the day. Jacob, bitch, I'm a bad bitch, and this nigga gonna take care of me, and I ain't gonna do nothing, bitch. I'm not gonna have to work. I'm not gonna have to do nothing, bitch. I'm not getting out here doing none of that cook. This nigga gonna take care of me. He gonna give me this and give me that because I'm pretty. Now let me tell you something. I'm a very pretty girl too. I'm a very pretty girl too, and I used to think like you. I really did used to think like that once back in the day, right? Let me tell you something. You're pretty, but that shit is over. Them niggas not taking care of y'all no more because y'all pretty. That don't go like that. First of all, it shouldn't even go like that. Why would you be with a man and be with somebody and have a home, a family, all you because you pretty, bitch. You laying inside with your feet rubbing them together, bitch, while your man is out there in the trenches getting that money, bitch, working hard and busting his ass, working 12 hours shifting on it. And you ain't home. Laying down and saying, oh, because I'm pretty, he gonna do that. Why would you even let him go out there and suffer like that by himself? Bitch, these men need help. Let me tell you something about me. My man makes amazing money. But while he out there in the middle of that fucking ocean and ain't no motherfucking land in sight and he in a freezing cold or he in a hot in the summer and it's 18,000 degrees in the summer and he's sweating, I'm out here in the heat, in the cold with him. I'm hustling side by side with him. Let me tell y'all something. That pretty shit don't go nowhere. Help that fucking man. You cannot get the things that you want to get if you have a working man and you're not contributing. Listen, my husband makes a lot of money. He make enough money to take out my household and a whole small family if he wanted to. But guess what I do? I get the fuck up and I go outside and I bust my ass and I work hard and he don't even ask me for my money. He don't ask me for nothing. Nothing. But guess what? Life be lifing. So I think that if he fall off one day or anything happen with him or go wrong or he need anything, he ain't gotta look a damn place. But to me, because I got him. And we gonna be all right. See, that's what y'all be not realizing. Your man will love you so much more if he just knew he had the helping hand and he got somebody to have his back the way he got your back. So that pretty shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. Stop thinking people gonna take care of your days over. Them niggas ain't take care of y'all. And I ain't hating because I'm pretty too. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. You're gonna get rained through because you're pretty, and you're gonna mess with every nigga and get the bare minimum. And then when you get in your 40s, my age, you're gonna look bad, bitch, because you was out here selling pretty and you wasn't grinding. See, my nigga can't buy me nothing that I can't afford to buy my motherfucking self. Let's start there. Help them fucking men. Stop thinking that, oh, because I'm pretty, I'm this and I'm that, I'm fine. I don't got a BBL in my ass big. Somebody gonna phase me. Girl, get you some grind with that BBL and you is unstoppable. Okay? See, the niggas ain't gonna run off and go fuck with nobody else and stay with them or whatever they be doing. It's because they know ain't nobody gonna grind it out and help them the way you gonna help them. So y'all need to get up, come up off that I'm pretty shit. That shit ain't gonna work. I'm a living witness. Look at me. I'm telling you, I've been there. I used to think just like that. But see, once I got that bulldog in me and got me some grind, it was over. I'm unstoppable now. Y'all gotta come up off it. Help that fucking man.
Now, first of all, this woman here, like I said, I like the message that she's telling the youth, the young women, don't be out here promiscuous, chasing everything that's gold or glitter. Try to, but that's it. And the man that she's with, I'd be willing to put all the money that I own on it. He's one of those men that I'm talking about has to be alleviated, not alleviated like they life need to be took, but the spirit in them need to be alleviated and replaced with the spirit of masculinity. So if this man, first of all, I'm believing she say he work offshore, but say he work in the water. If he work offshore, he's making some amazing money. Your wife shouldn't be working. Now I understand how offshore works, and they gone for days at a time. But let's just say, for instance, see, femininity is things that, and this is why I speak on the gender roles and why they matter. Femininity is something that only women possess. Nobody else possesses this. This is something that they have that nobody else have. You can have imposters, homosexuals, trans, but the real femininity, the God-given femininity, only comes from a woman. And when she's operating in that, she's irresistible. And one of those things is her vagina. We know that, okay, sex. So you saying sex is a part of femininity? Not so much as the sex act, but just being sexual and having sex appeal. Now, this woman was a male man. If you know about male people, which everybody do, you going all over, getting in and out your truck. I know this is a tiresome job. So let's just say I just so happen to have a situation where I'm coming in town off the offshore. I'm talking about a husband. And as soon as you get home, I want to have sex. You're not gonna be in your femininity. You're not. You're gonna be in your that bulldog in there, like you just said, and you worked all day. You gonna don't touch me, man. I'm going in the shower and you're gonna want to go relax your body. You've been on your feet walking the houses all day. See, I want my woman to be home, ready for me when I get off from work, smelling good in lingerie. And if I want to touch up on her and copulate, I'll be able to. I don't want to hear, I'm tired, I had a long day. He hear that from a lot from her if he was working in town. And even when he off, because when like I say, offshore they work, they do some of their stuff out. Like they'll do 7 on, 7 off, 14 on, 14 off. Some dudes do 28 on, 28 off. And when he come home, he home for a few days. And he gotta wait till she get home and shower if she in the mood because she been in the hot sun all day. Who wants to deal with that? Number one. Number two, it's in her mind already that anything I could, and this is, see, you got to be careful with these little secret little demons like that, right? These are the demons that you have to be careful of. Anything he could, now it sounds like it's coming off as an angel of light, but the devil can quickly manifest off of that and say, hey, yeah, you don't need, first little sign, you don't need him, you can buy this on your own. So she said, anything I ask him for, I can buy it for myself. Next thing about this woman is all the way out of her femininity. Dirty mouth. I mean, and listen, bro, like I say, and again, I want to be clear on who I'm talking about. The men that I surround myself with are all doing better than me. Most of them. And the thing about that is, no, they all are. And the thing about that is, I learned a lot from them, and I got a support system. And most of them are married. But even when you talk to a lot of men, because I thought at this point in my life, I only try to keep myself around a certain group of people unless it comes to something about God. That God is for everybody. But when it comes to my personal time, I try to kind of like stay around people that's anti-degenerate, right? And all of the nonsense that dudes do. And even if you're a dude who married and you cheat on your wife, I don't even want to deal with you. Because that curse that's up on you, I don't want it to affect you when I'm in the car with you one day or I'm on a plane with you one day. So I try to live as pure as possible individually, and I try to surround myself with people that's doing the best that they can, men that repent daily, because none of us perfect, right? But they don't want no woman like this. For all the things I just said, she's not enough feminine. Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, a lot of men have sex with her, but she's not enough femininity. You ain't about to tell her to quit no job. She not quitting no job. She never gonna just go be home because her mindset is already made up. And I understand what she's saying when she say, "Oh, if something happened, yeah, things happen." That's why, as a man, that's another form of your masculinity, and that's why you gotta have a support system because you need to be investing. You need to have things in place in case something happens. Emergency fund, investment, all of these things that you have in place in case something happens at work and you never have to work, or you never able to work again or out of work for a time. This is all part of being a man, a masculine man, right? And and so this woman is just all the way out of feminine. I wouldn't want to marry her. I wouldn't, in my old days, I probably would have laid with her, but I wouldn't have messed with her. I might have kept on the roster, right? Because she a male lady. She, not that I need her for nothing. I never was one of those dudes to take things from women. But she's very beautiful. She has a nice body. I went to look at her personal Facebook. She's a beautiful woman, but and again, see, I tell people this too. You can tell what type of man a man is by his woman. I can tell by her energy that she's with a beta male. I can tell. Because another thing about a masculine man, not a toxic masculine man, but a man of God, another thing about him is his energy. When she's in her femininity, it's like a glove in a hand. And this is why gender roles are so important, man. And that's what I'm soon about to close, but that's one of the things I just wanted to stand on. And people always talk about the gender role. Women need to get back in their femininity right? And I mean, if you got something going on in your family, you got a passion as a woman outside of being, but your purpose as a woman, and you're never going to feel it be fully be fulfilled and have that peace until you are married and you're a wife, because that's your purpose on earth that God put you here. God put you here, as First Corinthians 11:9 tells us, you were put here for the man, not the other way around. Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing and finds favor with the Lord, not she. And we know Adam was here alone and God sent him Eve to be a helpmeet. That's your purpose. But if you have a passion that you want to, just do or whatever, and your husband is cool with it, fine, cool, okay. But understand what your purpose as a woman is, and that's your femininity and all of the things that entails, being a good mother, making sure you are always just sexy. And this is not about being fit, because it's some big girl that's out here sexy, but you gotta get into, listen, you gotta get your relationship right with God. Ask God to be with you in everything you do and everywhere you go, as a man or woman. And God is gonna begin to whisper things into your ear that's gonna go against what you're already doing if you're not in your right position. As a man being masculine or as a woman being feminine. Don't do that, do this. And as you begin to obey them voices, sometimes it might be uncomfortable, but as you begin to obey those voices, you're going to become to be that femininity. You're going to become closer and closer to being a girl. And the thing is, that's why general, see, it's a job for the woman. Nothing is wrong with gender roles. She's supposed to cook, she's supposed to clean, and she's supposed to be a good mother. That's all. She's not supposed to be working, being 50-50. I'm not judging nobody, whatever situation is working for you, but ultimately, that's not how things are supposed to work. The man is supposed to protect and provide. That's just how I go. All that mixing up, I don't believe in gender roles. Okay, cool. Like me, I like to wash dishes. So when I'm in a relationship or when I'm not, I wash dishes. I like to do that. I like to clean and do certain things. But I understand if I'm out working all day, that's the woman's job. Just like if we laying in the bed at night, it's funny that gender roles is never in place when we laying in the bed at night and we look at the camera and there's some intruders outside. It's never a problem with gender roles there. But what happens is we get in these relationships because we're not operating in our true masculinity as men, our true femininity as women. Things end up turning bad, not long after or somewhere down the road, because we wasn't in our roles. And next thing you know, the acting stops. She was acting like this to keep up a facade. So was the man, and everything fall apart when all they had to do is be in their respected roles. The man have something the woman don't. The woman have something the man don't, spiritually and physically. And when they bring those things together, both healed and God infused, they work perfectly. And I just want to say that, man, I'm about to close, man. I thank y'all for coming out, man. We do this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We hold live. Um, I see somebody comment. I want to address that, and I'll probably be out of here after that. But yeah, man. Truly, you are the first person to realize this, man. Shout you out, shout out, Ian. It's all love, man. Y'all give me a like, subscribe. I thank y'all for coming through. But yeah, man, I just wanted to close this saying this, man. That's how powerful the black man is. That if he, the woman or followers by nature, they are receivers by nature. When the black man get himself back together as a whole and don't turn to the preacher. Don't turn. I'm not saying don't go to church or nothing like that. There. I'm saying ultimately you got to turn back to God. Ask God to come inside you. I challenge you. Ask God to give you that wisdom. Ask God to be with you in everything you do, everywhere you go. And again, like I said, it's gonna be uncomfortable sometimes, but that spirit gonna tell you, no, don't do that, do this. And as you begin to cooperate with that spirit, you're gonna begin to slowly but surely be that masculine man that God put you on this earth to be. And as a black man, the whole America gonna do better. Because once you get back in your respective roles, right? Once you get back in your respective roles, the woman, because what has happened is the devil have took over the woman, turned her against us, and the children is just all out of whack, killing each other, dying on the street, everything. But when we get back in our respective roles, the women gonna naturally get in their natural femininity. God gonna do all this. God gonna do his job. And the children gonna be back because that's the order of God. Christ and God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, woman over children. And once that order get back correctly, because our men is not worshiping everything else but God and put God back at the main thing. And I know this might not be easy overnight, but again, you can't tell me it's not easy to wake up every day and thank God for everything and tell him to be with you throughout the day. Pray the prayer of Psalm 91 for sure, but tell God, man, thank you. And I want to thank you for waking me up and thank you for my family, whatever you want to thank him for. Lord, I need this. I pray the prayer of Psalm 91 over me and my family, and God be this. This is a woman too. This is universal prayer. It's to get your femininity in check. It's to get your masculinity in check, because being feminine as a woman is godly. Being masculine as a man is godly. So when you asking God, again, I'm saying it for the last time before I close. When you ask God to be with you all day, every day, which is a simple prayer, again, he gonna walk you into your femininity. He gonna walk you into your masculinity. And then we're gonna come together and make everything work out. Look, man, I thank y'all for coming out, man. I do this Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I hold my master class, my BodyCam breakdown on what you should do and what you shouldn't do if you're in that situation. And I thank y'all for coming out. Y'all have a good night. God bless y'all. I see y'all Wednesday. Peace.
I could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See, mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. What's up with that? You poppin' bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we don't got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the feds, they never coming home. Can't never see their daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster. Ruger rap. Top gunner, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100.